Hello and welcome to the Bald and Beardiful. I'm Bryce.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Bald.
And I'm the beautiful one.
And happy Veterans Day. We're recording this on Veterans Day.
That we are.
So you know what? I think I just realized why my video is just okay and not fantastic.
Are you going to do a technical fix in the middle
Well,
of the
not a technical fix. I'm actually just gonna plug it in and see what happens.
way to go. Way to go.
So much better looking. For the life of me, I cannot figure out why it looked a little grainy and why the light on the little camera wasn't working. It's like I swear I don't know what's going on.
The red light means it's off.
Well, no, it had no light at all, which is why when I saw there was no little red light, it was just like, huh, this is probably why. Yeah, we live, we learn. Anyway, yeah. So, well, how did your week go? Besides cover 5, how'd your week go?
Besides cover 5, week's good. Getting through new hire training at the new job, so that's been fun.
All kinds of fun.
Dusting off some of the old knowledge, and be able to apply that. Definitely looking forward to it. Taking over my team here shortly. That's been good.
I got nothing exciting. The only thing exciting that's going on with the upcoming weeks is, Thanksgiving is coming. I'll be in Arizona next week, so maybe we'll have to do an episode together.
Next week?
Next Wednesday, I'll be in there. Yeah.
Oh, wait, when you come Wednesday?
I'm coming on Wednesday. It was either pay $700 and come, or it was like more like pay $800 and come for a week, or ask my boss if I can work from home, which I got permission to work from home, and make a 2-week trip out of it and save $500. So I'm paying $200 for this trip, and absolutely great. Like, I'm so glad that they were nice enough to let me work from home. I got the laptop, I got everything set up, so I'm looking forward to it. So I'll definitely have to have a recording when we're actually together.
Yeah, we definitely do that. I went up to Pine this weekend. I saw some elk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was up at the friend's cabin and saw some elk. That was a good time overall. But like, on a side note, like, okay, so plenty of people play Among Us. I've played with you. I started playing with my previous team, right? So small rant, right? I can't stand the douche canoes that just randomly lie about other players. Like, I'll be like a crewmate and I'll be like doing stuff, like doing my normal, like, whatever, the tasks, right? And then somebody will find a dead body, and then somebody who's not the imposter, right? Just another one of the players would be like, I saw orange vent. And I'm like, wait, what? But what? No. And like,
so they didn't find the body. They're not the imposter. They're another random crewmate, and they're just like, oh, by the way, I saw this person vent, and you didn't go to report the button.
So,
or did this just happen? Like,
yeah. And then everybody just votes for you immediately because there's no consequence for voting, really, like, especially early on in the game. There's no consequence for voting out random crewmates, right?
No.
So, yeah. So they'll do that. I'm just like, what? But honestly, like, getting that out of the way early, being a ghost makes it so much faster to do your tasks.
Oh, God, yeah.
So it's not 100% bad, but at the same time, I'm just like, why are you doing that? You're just trolling, and it's not even like funny.
I feel like I play maybe once a week, twice a week, but I have like the same people that I play with, but every once in a while we bring in somebody new, and it's always like the introduction part of it that just kills me. And why it kills me is because we played with some people more than once, and they still don't know how to play. And when you do bring in new people, they want to do a run through and where they explain it, when there's a little button on the first like page when you open up the app or open up the gaming streaming system on whatever you play on that says how to play.
Yeah.
And they don't want to take the 10 minutes prior to go read it and it'll explain what you do. No, I don't know. The one who needs attention just needs to be the one who says, this is what you do. This is how you do it. This is what you need to do. If this happens, you should be doing this. If this happens, you should be doing this. And like, oh my God, just play the freaking game. That's my little rant. Because I got plenty more to rant about with Cover 5. Oh my God.
Well, we can get into the recap then. I think that's a good segue into the recap.
That was the plan.
For anybody like wondering, you can, as far as the beard, we'll get to it. We'll totally get to that here in a moment.
So it's just so bright. Like it looks good. That you picked a good lighting for it, and it almost matches your jersey. I mean, if it was a little darker, I don't think you'd be able to see it. So I'm glad we went with a little more neonish. But yeah,
this was like we didn't really have a choice. Like this was like the only blue available. Like I didn't have like a lighter one that I like.
I'm assuming the beard spray or hairspray color options are pretty standard.
Until Halloween.
Until Halloweenish. It's a good segue into the recap for the week. What else? I was going to say something else. I'm blanking it. Why is this called Close to No Cigar? Oh, wait. I was going to go into a quick, if you haven't seen our show before, Cover 5. The short version, you have all the teams that are playing for the week, all the NFL teams that are playing this week. You pick 5 of the games. You're hoping to pick the one with the biggest spread in the score, and you're hoping to be on the right side of that spread. That is Cover 5 in a nutshell. Chris decides to go the other way sometimes, as we'll hopefully, foreshadowing, see in the future here.
Okay. All right. Week 9.
There's a big difference in our scores for sure.
Just a little bit.
So did we have any like real overlapping this time? We had one game that was overlapping. And if you watched last week's episode when we revealed our picks, we actually had 2 overlapping because I had picked Arizona with you. But during my research and long walks on the beach and just getting into my thoughts, I thought better of it and switched it out. I believe I took the Atlanta game instead, which at one point would have been an amazing pick. I guess I'm just going to go into mine because winner chicken dinner. Now finally beating you with a good gap there, 6 games to 3, and I'm just loving it. I went against the grain. We say we never picked the Thursday night game, but this one was just so tempting, and I'm also just so pissed at it too because it still had a bit of the curse in the night. Green Bay favored by 5.5 points. They beat San Francisco 34-17. And that last 7 points was scored in the last 15 seconds of the game. There was no reason for it. They could have just needed it out, kind of like Brady did on Sunday night. But no. They had to just F my spread a little bit. I'm not happy about it. But I was so unhappy about it. I went home, went to bed, and dreamt about this game and how San Francisco scored more points, just enough to give me -1 points. Like I was that upset about it. It was
PTSD.
It subconsciously pissed me off, and I just couldn't. Like 15 seconds, you had to let them score. I could have had an extra 18 points, or not 18, another 7 points. And if I had an extra 7 points, it would have given me 49. Where would I have been? Hang on, I'm looking at it right now.
Still not on the podium.
I would have been in sixth. Yeah, New Orleans really. Well, I mean, Tampa Bay is the one that really messed this up for me. Anyway, um, Minnesota versus Detroit division game. I figured, this is actually exactly what I figured around. They would win, they would cover, they'd give me some points, 10 points. Can't be unhappy. Baltimore, they did Baltimore things, got me 11 points. Atlanta, just one of those teams that, and I have put my faith in. And I think at one point, I honestly think this was a recap of their Super Bowl, because I think they had Denver like 27-3 going into like the fourth, or at least in the third, and they let Denver come back and ruin my spread. I had 20 points off of this game at one point. I know this because I was celebrating the fact, and then I saw the game again and went, what the happened? So, but they still got me 3 points versus the -8 that I would have had if I kept Arizona. So, I mean, a 12-point swing definitely, I mean, it put me in 14th overall in the league that we play in versus whatever that would have been if I was 12 points down. And then Vegas, I was hoping for a little more out of Vegas, but I didn't know that they would win. So taking them as the underdog was an easy pick for me. So yeah, ended my week with 42 points, 14th place, and it actually moved me up in the overall rankings and put me in 23rd.
And you finished in what place for this week?
I said it like 3 times. 14th.
14th?
14th.
Because I distinctly remember a text message from you stating that you would podium and you were guaranteed at least 5th place.
Yeah, well, that was before the update, and New Orleans decided to score 40-plus points and bring the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people that were not within my reach, even to catch up and take over.
Yeah, I just like this. I find that as more of a moral victory that you cursed yourself. I may have lost the week, but I did. But you boasting about beating me and then being like, "I'm gonna podium," and then getting railroaded by the New Orleans score.
So before the last 2 games, before New Orleans decided to break the levees inside of Tampa Bay, they too soon? They I was in second place. I was in second place overall. And I knew that I wasn't going to get first, and I was pretty positive I wouldn't stay in second because I had at least 4 people behind me that had picked New England's Jets game. So before the 40-point swing, I was fine. I was good. But then Tampa Bay just decided 3 points is enough. That's fine. We don't need to push Brady that hard and give him his ultimate low for the season in fantasy points or anything like that. That seems ridiculous. Anyway, let's talk about your mistakes.
I don't necessarily. Okay, so going into the footballs at home against the New York Giants or the New Jersey Giants, however you want to look at it. I don't view this as a mistake, considering another Washington quarterback lost a leg. Kyle Allen, dude, did you see that? I don't know where the break is, but like his foot was like perpendicular to his leg, like not the way it's not supposed to.
Did Smith go out again?
No, Smith had to go back in. Is what happened. So Kyle Allen started for the Washington Footballs.
Gotcha. Right?
Kyle Allen loses his leg.
So he pulled the Dak Prescott this week.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, except for I don't think it's quite as bad as Dak, but still. And so then Alex Smith had to go in, and you're like happy to see Alex Smith return to football, but at the same time you're like, they just had a quarterback go out with a leg injury.
Yeah. I thought Alex Smith played a couple weeks back too.
He did. He went in because Kyle Allen got knocked unconscious. I think he went into concussion protocols and had to be brought in because that Bish Dwayne Haskins. He's just not cutting it in the NFL.
Mm.
But I think if Kyle Allen is in for the whole game without the injury, without that, without losing momentum, right? I think that this could have been different. This definitely could have been different. Although Alex Smith did really well. Like he actually did well.
Alex Smith isn't exactly a bad backup to have.
No.
I mean, the fact that New York Giants let up 20 points. I mean, the Washington still let the New York Giants get 20 points. So I mean, that's something to say about their defense too. It's not just their offense. I mean, in order to get the spread we want, we need someone who's got good defense and someone who can get the points. So there's two sides to every team.
Going into Houston at Jacksonville. Jacksonville Suns.
You still win against the Mustaches team.
The Mustache didn't play.
I said the Mustaches team. You went against it, and I called it back then. I called it last week. It's not. He's not playing. It'll be fine. Nope.
Well, it should have been fine, but I don't know what's up with Houston. But I should have. They won, but they obviously didn't cover. So
yeah. You picked the winning team. Just you didn't pick the right cover.
We already went over Baltimore. That was the one we were on. Seattle at Buffalo.
Buffalo.
This is the Commish's team, the Buffalo. Shout out to the Commish. That your team decided to show up, which is really great for me because I have Josh Allen as my QB in fantasy. So, thumbs up on that. I expected it to be somewhat of a shootout, but I expected Seattle at some point to pull away. It happened the other way around, where it was pretty much a shootout, and then Buffalo pulled away. So what I expected to happen happened, just on the wrong side of that particular pick. I was thinking of that too. Like Buffalo is at home. They have something about playing at home, even though Seattle travels well. Seattle's defense looked awful.
Yeah, I stayed away from this game more because I do know that both teams have scoring potential, and it could really go either way. We saw that with Seattle and your team, the Cowboys. It was a really high-scoring game. But, yeah, you could have easily been on the wrong side of this. It could have gone either way. Buffalo, I think, in hindsight, I think has a better advantage just because I think their defense is a little better. But, of course, you can say that now just because you can see the score.
Yeah. Hindsight 2020. All right. And then Miami coming to the desert, doing work.
Miami is not a bad team this year. The past couple of years, you couldn't say the same, but they have the defense. They have the defense. We talked about them last week with Fitzpatrick saying, "Oh, we didn't find that quote, but we found it, didn't we?"
We did. Yes. Hold on. I sent it to you.
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Yeah. You sent it. So with
I'll bring it up.
Fitzpatrick playing like the first 6 games or so, and then he gets sidelined for the rookie who's doing pretty well actually. But yeah, Miami is not a bad team this year. They put the on the Rams the week before. So when I was thinking about this pick, I was thinking Arizona's good this year. They are doing well, but they just didn't. Miami isn't just on the walkover this year. Jets. I mean, they actually put it together.
All right. So the quote was Ryan Fitzpatrick on Dolphins' decision to start Tua Tagovailoa. That's a mouthful. I apologize, Mr. Tua. But for Ryan Fitzpatrick riding the pine, this was his response to Tua starting over him. I'm air quoting his response, by the way, because I don't want to be, caught misspeaking in any manner.
You're actually reading it from a post?
Well, it may or may not be a real post, but it's funny, so we're including it, right? So, Ryan Fitzpatrick on Dolphins' decision to start Tua. He might be younger than me, quicker, faster, better decision-making in the pocket, better looking, more poised, a winner, and his face doesn't look like a 1980s bush trying to escape a bikini. I forgot where I was going with this.
It's all in good humor.
Yes, all good here with that. But Tua, I think also Tua is the difference maker, right? He's doing really well as a rookie. You said the defense is showing up, which limits the mistakes that he can make, and he's delivering. And he went and competed with Kyler Murray, who is in competition for league MVP, and he definitely showed what he could do. So we'll see if teams continue to underestimate Miami with that. But that was heartbreaking to watch. Like it was really heartbreaking to watch that and watch all the efforts of Kyler Murray and the offense. Well, really just Kyler Murray. He had over 100 yards rushing. He did everything he needed to do. Nobody else did.
He pulled a little Lamar Jackson.
I don't even think that. But you know.
Well, I say this because you can't pick anyone but Lamar Jackson in the Ravens for fantasy points. He doesn't throw it at anybody. He doesn't give the ball away. He likes to run it himself. Everyone else is anyone's guess. There's so many good players on the Ravens that just don't see the light of day or just don't get all the attention that they can. Because like Hollywood Brown could be an amazing wide receiver. Edwards, I believe, is the running back is actually really good, but he needs a quarterback. I don't want to say like Ben Roethlisberger, but even like Brady or Breeze, someone that will throw and get the ball away, and they could be really good players, even if it's just from a fantasy standpoint.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with that, but so ended up negative.
Negative what?
20 and a half.
20 and a half to my 42.
You were bound to actually like take
get a
one
good game eventually.
But at the same
this is I think this is the first week this season I've had all positive all 5 games I had positive points. Not one bad pick technically.
That's true. We can go with that. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Hang on. Then, before we go to him, though, I'm actually disappointed in one more thing that we've said a lot or at least I've said it a couple times this year, and I'm surprised I didn't think of it at the time. One other decent pick would have been to pick Dallas. Because this is the reasoning because Pittsburgh was behind the entire game, and it was looking like they were going to get their first loss to Dallas, which would have been freaking weird and would have been an absolute missed opportunity for you to take a bet on that. But Pittsburgh did end up with a win. And like we've seen in the past, with the exception of Cleveland, Pittsburgh has only ever won by a few points. They've never really put a huge spread in it. So when we both see that the spread for this game is -14, it should have been a small little hint for us to take Dallas, thinking that Pittsburgh may just win by like 1 or 2 points and get the extra. I mean, if you would have picked this game, you still would have ended up with the 9 points because it was 24-19. If you picked Dallas, you still would have ended up with 9, which isn't a bad thing. It's not 40.5, but it's still positive points.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you on that. All right, so let's get on to Mr. Cowherd's Blazing 5.
Oh my God, this guy. Do you want to talk about it? I want me to do it.
So I'll announce them off, and then you can do the overall calculation, and then you should know where. Do you have it? Do we have the season total?
No, I do not have his season total. I always forget about this guy until we're about to do this. So I haven't done the total for the season. I'll have to do it. Maybe if I remember after this, I'll put it all together and see where we rank up to him next week.
All right, next week since we are one game past the halfway mark. It's probably a good time to see where we're heading to. But all right, so for the Blazing 5 this week, we had Seattle with a -13. I was on Seattle with him. I took that hit.
He had quite a few of your picks, actually.
Yeah. Baltimore at +11, which we were both on. Right?
Yep.
Arizona, which I was on, -8. The Footballs, which I was also on, at -6. And then the absolute killer of Tampa Bay at minus 40.5, taking a shellacking by New Orleans.
Yep, he ended his week with negative 56.5. So wherever he was in the weekly ranking, he's not there anymore.
Well, I think that puts him below me because I don't think I think I'm at like minus 50 altogether. Right? I think that's where my points are at. And so just this 1 week puts him below.
Well, you're also assuming that he was like around zero-ish when we from now. But I mean, he could also be a lot lower from what I can tell. I think this was last week. No, when was that? At least a couple weeks ago, he was at negative 29.5. I don't know where he was last week. I didn't write it down. I see a negative 19 from the ones that I do have. I see a positive 7. I don't know. Well, I'll research it.
All right. So moving on.
Do we have to move on? Because I know what's coming next.
Yes, it is the side bets. And to recap, we had an initial Curse of the Thursday Night side bet about passing yards that we somehow managed to screw up. I'm still not sure how there are two calculations, or you look. There's a discrepancy between receiving yards and passing yards.
I'm guessing they don't calculate the run after the pass itself,
which would kind of make sense. But either way, so what we said was it wasn't so much of a double or nothing. It was like a risk it double on the Monday night, New England against the New Jersey Jets, with rushing touchdowns, right? I set the point at 3 rushing touchdowns and let you choose over or under. And then we said that we would split the punishments if we were on the mark with 3 rushing touchdowns.
So in case you haven't seen Chris's
beard. I'll bring it up. Here we go. Paid in full. The blue beard here, paid in full. So November.
What that means is that there was at least 3 or more.
Hold on. Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, November. Support my balls. Anyway, okay. So what were you saying?
Anyway, so if anyone could follow what you were saying, since his beard is blue, means that the rushing touchdowns were either 3 or more. It wasn't under. And I believe when we talked about this, we were I knew what I was deciding between, because I knew where the rushing touchdowns would come from. I knew exactly it would come from New England. And of course, where did all the rushing touchdowns come from?
New England.
And I don't think was it just Cam Newton? Did he get all 3 of them?
Rex Burkhead got one.
Okay, because he at least had 2.
2 on Mam Newton, and then 1 on Rex Burkhead.
So in a way, this is a fitting ending. So he got 3 exactly, which means we split it. Here's the can.
You want to bring it in a little closer to show your little wiener juice?
I'm going to pour it in here in a second. And this just seems kind of fitting, honestly, that we split the punishment. And what I mean by that is, since we both kind of messed up on what we were saying in the first one and had to take a recount, not a recount, but had to do a redo. It kind of seems fitting that we have to split the punishment. Yours lasts a video. Mine's going to last a couple seconds. So
that does not look good.
Oh. It just, you ever have, it kind of tastes like turkey. Just like pickled turkey. It's weird.
Should have said you had to gargle with it.
Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Anyway, we ready to get into that's that side bet. It's possible we'll come out with another one here soon. We need something better.
We haven't eaten a pepper yet this year. This one.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, you had to eat the jalapeno because you backed out on the habanero.
Backed out, whatever. Anyway, let's get into our picks.
All right, getting into week's 10 picks. All right, ladies first.
I see that you're keeping with the Baker Mayfield stuff, and looks like for a good reason.
I'll get there. We'll get there. Go ahead.
Looks like we have a couple of similar picks.
We almost had
So-
like the exact same picks.
Almost.
I picked some to begin with, and then I went in and made some changes right before this. So
I'm still debating on these. Philly coming off of a bye week, and then the Giants. The Giants are doing well, and Philly has a tendency to lose. So this one's kind of a fingers crossed kind of bet, because as we saw with Washington, New York's defense isn't quite there, but Philly's offense isn't the best either, and their defense definitely isn't the best. So I'm thinking that the Giants can pull off an upsetting win and give me some good points. Cleveland off the bye week. I believe Mixon is back, which is unfortunate because Bernard was doing really well. Against
Cleveland? No.
Oh, that's Cincinnati. I'm sorry. That's my apologies, everyone. Yeah,
You're talking about Nick Chubb. Is who you're looking for.
Well, Chubb isn't even playing. He's still on IR. You're still looking at Kareem Hunt.
No, Nick Chubb is supposed to play this weekend.
Oh, is he coming back? Good for him.
He's supposed to. Yeah.
That
might change. It is Wednesday. That might change. But as of today, yes, he is still technically on the IR because his tag won't be changed until later in the week. But as of right now, the news is that Nick Chubb is supposed to be back for this game.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, hopefully he is, and he does well, because I got him. Well, me and you both have him against Houston, who has not been doing that well this year. Are they above? Do they have 2 wins, or do they only have 1?
I think they have 2.
They have 2 now.
But the other thing to keep in mind on Cleveland is the Baker Mayfield cycle. We were previously here. We're definitely here. We definitely got to here. Now it's time to be here.
So underdog mentality. Then hopefully, come game time, they beat the inferior opponent.
There is a chance that Monsieur Mayfield will not play, though. So that's something to keep an eye on. I'm going to throw that out there. Yes, you're welcome.
Is that a negative or a positive?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to get off of Cleveland with that, because they're –
honestly, I think if he's not playing, I might absolutely stay on it. But if he is playing, I'll think about it. Is kind of my mentality right now.
All right, moving on.
Tampa Bay just got home. They're sitting on their donut and hopefully recovering. Keep trying to keep PG. But you picked Tampa Bay because after a beatdown like that, you have to make a statement, especially against Carolina. Is Caffrey back? I think I just heard he went out again.
He did. AC joint, sprain or something like that.
Caffrey's out again, and they definitely have the weapons to beat Carolina, and they should be a little more motivated. And with the addition of Antonio Brown, there's no reason why they couldn't make a big spread here. Seattle versus the Rams. Is this a division game?
It is. They are both in the NFC West.
That's right. And so I'm very shocked. I picked this one just because Seattle was the underdog. I can't believe that they're the underdog to the Rams. That doesn't make sense to me. The Rams just got destroyed by Miami. And who did they play last week?
Who?
Rams. You know who they played last week?
You're talking.
I'm looking. Or were they on a bye?
They might have been on the bye. I don't know.
Yeah. So if they were on a bye, then maybe I still don't know. Yeah, they must have been on a bye. So they're coming off a pretty bad loss, and then the bye week. So I mean, yeah, they should be rested, but I still think Seattle's the better team. I think Seattle. No, never mind. Yeah, Seattle just got beat too, pretty badly, so they should be extra motivated. And so I guess that's kind of my reason. Even though Seattle doesn't quite have the defense, they definitely have the offense to burn the Rams. And then Minnesota, I'm iffy about this game. This one and the Giants, I'm kind of in a toss up right now. Division game, Minnesota definitely needs the win. The Bears have a pretty good defense, so I'm not sure how Cook is going to fare against their defense. But if they go off, it's a Monday night game, prime time. They have a little bit of extra recovery time, and I think they definitely have a chance to make a statement here. That's where I'm at. I mean, and also looking at everything, all the other games, I just see us being the better choice.
All right. So looking at my different picks here, Miami at home against the Los Angeles Chargers.
I look at that one too.
I'm trying to ride that hot streak. I think Miami's just on a hot streak. I think Tua has been a difference maker, allowing their defense to rest, right? Keeping the offense on the field, sustaining drives, allowing their defense to rest so that they can fire on all cylinders. Los Angeles plays to the level of the Chargers plays to the level of their opponent, and they have just they're I can't say that they're a bad team, but they're not a great team either. Even though typically for some reason the Chargers always seem to play better on the road. I think having to go across the country to Miami, that they are, they're probably gonna lay an egg on this one. So that's where I'm at with that. New Orleans at home against San Francisco. New Orleans really just took it to Tampa Bay. I think they're riding a high. I think San Francisco's still very much beat up. So I don't see any reason why they don't produce points here with that. And then we have Baltimore at New England. New England is not a good team. They are not the New England of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. They showed that in Monday night, where they had a very competitive game with the New Jersey Jets. So I think Baltimore's defense is better than the Jets' defense, and Baltimore has weapons that the Jets do not. They didn't even have Sam Darnold. They had Flacco starting on Monday night. And he looked lights out, actually, with his downfield passes, except for that one interception deep interception that he threw. But
yeah, the one at the end that cost him the game. Yeah, I remember it.
Yep, that one. And so he actually did look good, but I think Baltimore, Monsieur Harbaugh, doesn't like New England. I think he has a grudge against Bill Belichick there, and I think they're going to really want to take it to New England, especially in Foxborough. And I see that going to Baltimore for sure.
In the past, I've definitely had a couple of picks that you've made that I definitely wasn't on board with. I don't remember which ones in particular or how they ended up faring. But all of yours, I really like, except for the Miami pick. Miami, yes, they're good, but the Chargers are also good with if at least keeping it close games. We saw them not too long ago. It was down to an end zone pass, and it was still a really close game. So I know that the potential is there for the Chargers. So that's why I looked at it, but I didn't pick it. New Orleans, 9.5. It's it was tempting, but I don't think they're going to do exactly what they did to Tampa Bay. So 9.5 seemed a little steep for me. And but I did like it, and I did like Baltimore as well. I just thought Minnesota would be a little bit of a better pick besides Baltimore.
What's the Thursday night game this week?
The Thursday night game is the Colts in Tennessee.
Oh God, yeah, that's why I stay away from that. Are we doing a side bet now that you've downed your little wiener juice?
Oh
Are we
God,
doing another Thursday night side bet?
yeah, we should.
Neither of us took it.
What do we have in mind?
I don't know. I chose last time, so it should be it's ladies' choice.
I with it being let's pick the game winner with the spread. It's a -2. These teams are pretty close in their abilities. So let's just pick the winner with the spread. I'll let you choose. Since I picked I'm forcing you to pick the Thursday night game is what it is. That's basically where we're at. So if you pick the winning team with the spread, so basically if the team you pick gets positive points or would have given you positive points, you take the win.
All right, so I'm picking the Titans or the Colts.
You pick Titans or the Colts. If Titans win by more than 2, you're good.
Are we in Tennessee?
Yes. Which is such a huge drive from Indianapolis.
I would go ahead and take the Titans at home for this one.
All
Titans
right.
-2.
Yeah, so take Titans -2. All right. So I think the bet should be somewhat. I kind of like the idea of the food. So I was thinking like eating maybe if you can find them 5 sardines raw.
I mean, just like straight out of the can. I don't think you can eat raw sardines.
Yeah, like out of the can. See if you can get down 5 in like a shot variety.
I don't know about 5 because you got like you had to do a shot of the
I'm
juice.
assuming they're like that big. So whatever. Like I don't think I've actually seen one.
No, they're pretty small, but you'd have to eat multiple of them. It's been a while since I've had a sardine. I've eaten them before, but I'm just trying to think of like, how about like I mean, because like I said, your last one as far as eating things was quick. You had to, like you took a shot, right? So I'm thinking, but 5 like that's quite a bit. It's a little bit longer, if you will, right? So let's go with 2. Let's break it down. Let's do 2. You have to eat 2.
If you're gonna go 2, at least meet me halfway and go 3.
No, I'm gonna stick with 2.
Huh?
I said no. I'm gonna stick with 2.
No, take the 3.
No, 2. 2. It matches the spread. It's
fine.
serendipitous.
Because it matches 2, but you chase it down with a shot of whatever's keeping them preserved.
No, absolutely not. Because I think
why are you backing down?
Well, no, because I think one of them's because I think so, depending upon what you get, it might be oil, and I'm not taking a shot of fish oil, like preserved, like sardine oil. That's not going to happen.
And you wonder why we don't have any views.
It has nothing to do with that.
God, you're no fun. You're either saving me or saving yourself, and you don't even know which one it is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So I said, we'll eat 2, and then if it ends up being me, I can take the remainder of them, and I can make a nice Caesar dressing out of it. So because there are sardines in Caesar dressing.
All right. Do we got anything else? We got some news.
Yeah, we do. I believe we have some big news of the week.
Go ahead. What you got?
Oh, I was saying we already kind of talked about it. So Christian McCaffrey comes back from injured reserve just to get injured again, be out for like another couple weeks with an AC joint injury. Nick Chubb is back or should be back supposedly. That's the latest news is he'll be back in the lineup.
They'll probably still split the workload between him and Hunt, who's been doing really well.
Yeah. Let's see. Tevin Coleman's back for San Francisco. Raheem Mostert's still out though.
Oh, we're skipping over some of the biggest news actually.
We're getting there. We're not skipping. We're just going through.
Undefeated is where I'm
Oh,
going.
whatever.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Eight wins, undefeated.
can you
The longest they've ever had actually so far.
can you really say that like barely beating the Cowboys is a win? You only beat us by 5 points, and we were with what was it?
Sorry,
Garrett Gilbert,
they beat the Cowboys by how much?
5 points
Which is a win. Yeah, so I do absolutely count it.
against
A
against
win is
Garrett
a
Gilbert.
win.
You beat a quarterback from the American Football League or whatever, the
And
AAFL or whatever.
everyone else has been beating on the Jets this season. And a couple years ago, everyone was beating on the Browns and winning their games that way. And 2 years before
You
that,
mean
everyone was beating on the Lions.
You mean your team, right? Was beating on the Browns because they're in your division.
They have to play them twice. So what?
Yeah, so that's like that's 2 extra bye weeks, essentially.
And even still, again, like I said, 2 years before that, everyone was beating on the Lions. Like, it doesn't matter who it is you're beating, you're winning still. God forbid they happen to be in your schedule. How is that your fault that you're in your schedule? That's the team that's the one getting beaten on all year. Like, it is what it is.
Whatever.
And plus, some of those wins were against better teams too.
All right, let's move on to what was it? You had something else. On.
Yeah, I read briefly, and I wish I would have opened. I honestly saw it on like a drop down notification. I really wish I clicked on it because I don't have all the information. But it looked like there was a meeting with the NFL and the owners that they're looking at possibly expanding the playoff teams from 12 to 16 this year. I think it was just this year. I don't think it's going to be an ongoing thing, but in the hopes of, I guess, counteracting with all this COVID stuff, they'll add in 4 more teams to try to make it a little more fair. I don't know all the details. Again, I wish I would have read it, but that's just what I heard, and that's what I'm assuming is the reasoning for it. I'm curious to see how they're going to put it on with the wild cards or what have you. I mean, they're putting on another 4 teams. So you assume it kind of has to be a new 2 more wild card spots for each for the NFC and the AFC.
Could be interesting. To see if like a 5 seed or something like that, or not a 5 seed, but like a 10 seed ends up like winning the Super Bowl for some reason.
Do you know where everyone stands at the moment?
No. I could guess at a few.
Well, as a quick reminder, let's see if this will load fast enough. So we have just their division leaders. You got the Bills, the Chiefs, the Steelers, and the Titans in the AFC. And then in the NFC, you have the Eagles, which this entire division is still a losing record. The Seahawks, the Packers, and the Saints. They have the tiebreaker over Buccaneers, but they do have the same record at the moment. Oh wow, Saints are on a 5-week winning streak. That's awesome for them because they were not doing well at the beginning. But yeah, this is another reason why I picked Vikings over Bears, because Bears are it's a division and they're next up. This win would bring them one step closer to a potential wild card spot in the future. So I do think they're trying. Other wild card prospects, definitely not Washington. But I think Cardinals and Rams are both 3-5. Bears are 5-4, and the Bucs and the Saints are both 6-2. But either one of those teams could easily go to their wild card spot. In the AFC, Dolphins are second in theirs with 5-3. Everyone in this division is their second placement is like 5-3. So you Dolphins 5-3, Raiders 5-3, Ravens are 6-2, but Browns are 5-3, and then Colts are 5-3. So there's a lot of wiggle room for the wild card positions in the AFC because they're all fairly close. I mean, for the AFC North, it's going to be Steelers and Ravens almost have a guaranteed spot in wild card, depending on how the rest of the season goes. If they keep it up, it's guaranteed.
All right. Could be interesting. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're past the halfway point. I'm excited to see how it ends. Really excited for our end of year ceremonies with the Hot Ones style question and answering, wings ever increasing in their Scoville units. It's gonna be a fun one.
Should be good. Oh, and then did we ever actually get our torture trivia rescheduled?
No, it's freaking. Who would have thought Amazon would have been bad at delivering? But yeah, we had one guy. We had one guy try the sauce early. He wasn't happy, and the and then the other is it just came in late, and hopefully we'll get it this week, and maybe this weekend we can record it. When we have a text going between the four of us. And with one of them saying, why can't we just do trivia and without, having to eat something weird or whatever? I'm like, well, it kind of defeats the purpose of torture trivia. Why does there have to be a torture? Well, A, it's what we called it. And it was the point of the whole, this is the point of the whole thing. And second, if you don't do torture trivia, it's just trivia and, views. Like, I think honestly, like our torture trivia's got more views instantaneously based on, whatever, but they had more views just immediately better than our cover 5.
Well, less competition in the space, right?
Yeah, maybe, but or just easier to find because, like you said, cover 5 isn't necessarily search, but we did a torture trivia on Archer and we did a torture trivia on Halloween. People search those things and we pop up just because they typed in the keyword of our video.
Yep. Oh well.
But we'll get the next one up hopefully, and it'll be a fun one. We are so I kind of put in a little spoiler of what the torture might be, but it'll be fun.
All right. I think we're
let's get out of here.
Ready to get out of here.
Yeah. Peace out.
All right. Find us on Facebook, The Bald and Beardiful. Email us at thebaldandbeardiful@gmail.com for all of your burning questions. Right? Like, subscribe, comment, sweet nothings. Until next week, same bald time, same Beardiful channel.
Yes, please join us next week when I'm 7-3 against Chris.